to the channel again. Today it's all about a piece of software that is absolutely amazing, and it's called Rush. Some of you may have heard of it, but it's an alternative, or rather a better option than Aftership. It does everything Aftership does, but much more. Now, for those of you who have been using us for a while, or are aware, have been following us for a while, you would know that we are developing our own software, our own ERP, which is kind of like CJ Dropshipping or Weo, where you have your own online dashboard and you have all the different features where you can manage your orders and pay for your orders and the lot. So our ultimate goal was to create the best possible ERP, which was completely feature rich and eliminated you having to install lots of other different apps for your Shopify store or for whichever platform you're using. And one of the features we were working on was to be able to track your orders, as well as create triggers where once the tracking gets to a certain point. So for example, if a customer didn't receive their parcel, maybe they were out and the last mile carrier carded the item and they couldn't deliver it, that is obviously returned to the last mile carrier, and the tracking status will show as pickup or something like that. So what we wanted to do, as an example, would be to create a trigger where if that happens, it will automatically email or send an SMS to your customer so that they can go and collect their item. So we wanted to create a piece of software that had this feature where you could track every single stage of the parcel, and you can notify every single stage of the status and inform your customers. Now we're quite far off that. Our ERP is still in beta. Almost all the features are complete, but not the tracking side. Now, Rush, who we're going to be speaking about today, has pretty much done everything we wanted to do, plus more. It is, I'm telling you, you won't see me recommend or plug another piece of software or company very often. In fact, I hardly ever do it. And this piece of software impressed me so much that I just had to do it, because it's not only for you watching this video who have e-commerce stores, but it's the number one option that I recommend to our clients. And yes, hands up, this is in the description below you would see it would be an affiliate video, not a video so to speak. It will be a coupon code that you can use where you would get a discount and we get an affiliate payout. But it's nothing to do with the profit or the affiliate markup. It literally is because it is a super piece of software. So even if Kirill and the guys that do the amazing job over at Rush didn't provide an affiliate code or a discount coupon, we would still be pushing this software because it simply is amazing. So I will shut up, and we would. The next part is going to be a video from Kirill, who goes through the setup phase, as well as an overview and the features of what this software is capable of. So you're in for a real treat. And again, for those who are interested and want to use the software, you actually get 20% off from using this discount code. So be sure to try it out, test it out. You don't have to purchase it. Test it if you are as amazed as I was of what they're doing with it. By all means, go ahead. It's cheaper than Aftership. As I said, does everything plus much more, and they're updating it on a daily basis. And a quick, before we hand it over to Kirill, those who didn't watch my Express 101 teardown, I'll put it somewhere here so you can have a look at that if you so please. But Rush is the very first software developer who has implemented the last mile feature for Unexpress. And again, you probably won't know what I'm talking about, but if you did watch my video, which I just mentioned, the Unexpress 101 course, you would know that you have to use either Untrack's official website or parcelsapp.net and other pieces of different software or websites in order to ascertain and find out what the last mile tracking number is and what the last mile carrier company is. But Kirill and his team done an amazing job, and they literally sent me an email today, updated that this is the very first piece of software that have been able to, the very first to have implemented this in a piece of tracking software. So you no longer have to use different sites or use different apps to figure that out, and neither do your customers, because they will know exactly who the last mile carrier is and what their details are and the actual tracking number. So without further ado, let's get cracking.
This is a special collaboration between Rush and Honest FulPhilment. I want to take a second to thank Phil personally for giving us the opportunity to provide you guys with access to our software. So without further ado, let's jump into a short intro, and then you're gonna have the opportunity to see the software from the inside out over the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much for showing interest into Rush, guys. I know that your time is super precious, so I'm gonna go straight into it. Rush is a Shopify shipment software that literally can turn your one-time buyers into loyal, lifelong paying customers. And how is all that possible? Simply by using a custom branded tracking page, smart triggered email and SMS notifications, upsells and cross-sells to increase your bottom line revenue. For the dropshippers, this is a handy feature. You can blacklist and hide your original location, along with last mile carrier updates and notifications, and last but not least, analytics, dashboard, export and smart delivery estimates. We have currently more than 1,000 Shopify stores using Rush, and the feedback has been incredible, so we are pretty confident that we can definitely meet your needs and satisfy your customers to the best extent possible. Speaking about shipping carriers, currently we have integrations with more than 400 shipping carriers across the globe. So if something is missing, just let us know, and we'll make sure to have your shipping carrier integrated ASAP, but it's likely for us to have anything missing at this point. On that note, you might ask yourself, what are the benefits of using Rush at the end of the day? So a couple of them are increasing your customer satisfaction, preventing where is my order emails before they happen, save time and money on customer support tickets, and no more unnecessary disputes in PayPal. Speaking about that, you know how hard these days PayPal are taking action with disputes, chargebacks, you name it, when it comes down to not providing the shipping information for your customers when it's available. And a great advantage is that you can build your brand with every shipment you're gonna be sending. Your customers are gonna be loving these shipping notifications, and this is gonna build trust and credibility. Last but not least, you're gonna increase your revenue and repeat purchases. We are seeing right now some, tremendous results from some of our customers who are heavily integrating, our shipping events and triggers into their email and SMS flows, and most of them are gonna get at least 10 to 15x return on their investment based on their subscription plan with Rush. So let's cut the chase and go straight into the demo, guys, and hopefully you're gonna like what you're gonna see in the next couple of minutes. So without further ado, let's jump into the demo. And the first time that you're gonna install the app, you're gonna look it up under the apps, under the Rush Ship Track and Notify, and when you log in, you're going to be presented with a dashboard that is going to specify some important information in regards to your current shipments and some amount of shipments that are currently unfulfilled, and you probably need to prioritize and move forward with that. On the right hand side, you're going to see your current billing plan with your current quota based upon the plan, and some KPIs that are going to get filled up over time when we're going to start tracking and attributing a future revenue that is going to be coming from the app itself over time. Moving on to the next tab is the shipments, where we're going to be syncing all your orders and tracking numbers from the Shopify system and they're gonna be visible in a 4-column dashboard with the current rush tracking number, with the original shipping carrier tracking number for specific order, and with some details about your customers like shipping addresses, etc. Scrolling down, you're gonna probably notice some labeling system that we applied to provide you with clarity about what's the current status and what's actually the substatus that we implemented into the rush system. In this case, as you can see, delivered at the mailbox, or if it's pending awaiting shipment. This is one of the things that we believe that Rush is really standing out from the rest of the competitors and the rest of the softwares in our ecosystem, just because of the fact that we are not only gonna look up and listen to the main statuses, aka delivered, pickup ready, waiting for delivery, you name it, but we're gonna drill down and look up some more data that we can pull off from the shipping carriers, and you can pretty much select by main status, and you can go under the substatus and kind of select each substatus on its own. So in this case, as you can see right now, it's showing 50 out of 62 shipments. If I select at the mailbox only, I'm gonna be left and presented only with 48. So next, guys, we're gonna move to the next step, which is the reporting section. Pretty much straightforward analytics and performance when it comes down to your tracking page and the email notifications that are going to be coming out of our system. But speaking about that, let's jump on a screenshot. And that screenshot is taken from one of our clients. As you can see, once again, this is his current statistics when it comes down to current shipments with no updates for 2-3 weeks, expired tracking numbers, some failing delivery, and the amount of unfulfilled orders. But the beautiful part is that we're calculating right now the KPIs and the return on your investment based upon how much you're going to be spending for your monthly plan and how much total revenue Rush is going to bring back to your store using the tracking page along with the shipping notification system that we have in place. But this is not all, since we have integrations with Klaviyo, Omnisend coming up quite soon, push out. So technically these integrations are gonna have separate statistics that are not calculated in that specific box. And assuming that you're gonna be using Klaviyo and Rush at the same time, you're probably going to see twice as much that number when it comes down to the money that you're going to expect to get from returning visitors going back to your tracking page and your website from these beautiful shipping notifications. Now we're moving to the settings tab, guys, where you're going to technically go and configure your tracking page by clicking on that specific button, but scrolling down, you can enable and disable the current Shopify fulfillment integration, meaning that you can be using the native Shopify email and SMS notifications for these specific events, markets fulfilled, out for delivery and delivered. And if you want to learn more on how to set it up, just click on the learn more link over here. Now scrolling a bit down, you're gonna see the PayPal tracking integration, which is in active development right now. It's probably gonna be out in the next 2-3 months, but be on the lookout for our email updates. The next one is the smart email notification system. We're gonna spend a couple of minutes in a bit on it. Next, you're gonna see the merchants note. Technically, it's a note that is gonna be sitting on your tracking page, either at the top bar or as a liquid at the right hand corner. And scrolling down, you're gonna notice the upsell cross-sell area. Also, if it's part of your plan, you're gonna have active smart delivery estimate, meaning that our system is gonna be calculating proactively all your tracking numbers and the average transit time from country to country for a specific carrier. So the more data that you can provide to us, the better our system is gonna optimize the performance of specific events and triggers, which are also part of our smart email notification system. And scrolling down, you're gonna see the Klaviyo and Slack integrations, along with coming up quite soon Omnisend and Pushout are gonna appear at that specific section. So let's move forward with the tracking page configuration. I'm not gonna go super in-depth on it, but technically you can specify the layout and look. By default it's gonna come in light and dark mode. you can specify how customers can search for their shipping info via customer email, order number, or customer phone number, or just one of these three, or maybe 2 out of 3. It's up to you to decide how you're gonna set it up. The blacklisting, it's a pretty handy feature for all the dropshippers out there that want to hide the country of origin, aka the first destination that the item and the shipment is gonna be sent out from. Localization, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Carrier info, we can speak about it in a bit as well. You can set up the FAQ, which is going to be automatically updated on the tracking page itself. And you can update your header links at the top, at the header menu, both for links going to best-selling collections or other pages on your website, along with social media icons and links for your social media profiles. Pretty much straightforward tracking and analytics when it comes down to getting your pixels from Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, Google Remarketing Code, Facebook Pixel. It's simply copy and pasting the IDs, and you can start tracking your tracking page for these different mediums. Now let's take some time and look up the information that you're gonna see and your customers are gonna see once they go to your tracking page for specific shipment, for specific order, and for specific product. I'm gonna refresh the page just for the sake of the demo, and you're gonna notice how dynamically we're gonna populate the map in the middle of the screen. We're gonna show the order info, what's within the shipment itself, what's the original tracking number. You can technically hide it. I can show that in a bit. On the left hand side, you're gonna see all the different events that the shipment is going through, date by date, city by city, up until the shipment is gonna get delivered. You can notice that that specific shipment is coming from China, and we can easily blacklist that location. At the top, you're gonna see the frequently asked questions menu, along with some custom links that I have applied for that specific demo store, like the home page and the best-selling collection. These links are easily customizable on the back of the settings of the app itself. In the right hand corner right over here, you're gonna see what we call as merchant's note, which is a good way to inform your customers in advance for a specific event or a busy season of the year, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or any holidays that might trigger some delays on your shipments. Just make sure to let them know. Once again, you can disable that feature, but it's up for grab if you decide to use it in your own advantage. Pretty much you can X on that and minimize it to the bottom of the screen. That area is the upsell cross-sell area, which is completely customizable as well. You can specify a collection that you can make in advance, and every single time when somebody's gonna look up their order, they're gonna also look up these products, which by the way are bringing so much more revenue for our clients currently. And truth be told, that specific area is converting at least 10% for all our customers. And to make sure that you're gonna not only fall in the trap that I'm showcasing the desktop version, 85% of the traffic is gonna come from mobile. So let me just mimic a mobile version for the sake of the demo. Okay, I just refreshed that page. As you can see, the merchant note went up. You can once again minimize it. You can scroll up, and your customer is gonna see once again what's within the order itself, what's the original tracking number. As I said, we can hide that specific area. What's the current status? In this case, it's delivered. And if they scroll down, they're also gonna pay attention to the upsell cross-sell area, which is gonna go to these different product URLs, along with a specific collection that you can apply in order to maximize the performance of that returning traffic that is gonna be coming your way from taking advantage of these shipping notifications. At the top, once again, it's the menu. I didn't mention that, but your tracking page is coming in light and dark mode by default, and you can easily customize to match the look and feel of your website itself. Okay, how can we do that? It's quite easy, just by going into the settings. enabling a piece of code which we can provide for you. And once we refresh the page, as you can see, we applied some custom colors that can literally match your style and look and feel of your brand itself. So let's take one order as an example, and assuming that your customer is gonna go to your tracking page and is gonna look up their order, I'm gonna put in 1198, and you're gonna see what right now Rush is gonna do. He's gonna go to the database and he's gonna look up that specific order. But assuming that most of you guys are gonna have separate tracking numbers for a single order, we still can separate them and provide the info for your customers, so technically they can look up the second tracking number, right? And they can always go back to the toggle and look up the rest of the 2 tracking numbers that are currently going to their location. So I might click on this one, and I might go back and click on the carrier awaiting order arrival, and it's going to zoom out and also provide me with the order info box that is once again is going to show the items in that specific shipment. Now let's take a minute and speak about the blacklisting location feature. If I go here on that specific tracking number, all I have to do is go back to the settings, and under blacklisting, simply I can either select China or go with Asia as a continent, and just select it. Replace with a city as the first location. Let's go with London. And with 2 simple clicks, if I go back to the tracking page, I just refresh, and if I scroll down, right now you can see that the London, Great Britain or UK is the first location of that specific item going to the United States. So, and as you can see, this will be the current location of where the item was delivered in the USA. Now guys, let's spend some time and go over our smart email notification system that is part of the app itself. So if you go under settings and scroll down once again, you're gonna see smart email notifications. Just click on configure, and basically from here you can start creating your shipping notifications for different events, and it's pretty much straightforward, like clicking on add email, and from the drop down you're gonna select the event that you want to create a notification for. It's pretty much straightforward, as I said, and just so you know, whatever you guys see right now, I'm gonna show that in Klaviyo and in Omnisend as well in a minute. So for the sake of the demo, I'm gonna go with new status, and I'm gonna pick up delivered, and you can see the power of Rush. I mean, you can create different email notifications for these sub-statuses, like at the front door, at the mailbox, at the parcel locker. And if you select one of these on the left hand side, the main statuses, you're gonna be presented with more options for each one of these statuses, whether it's failing attempt for a reason like no access or not secure location, or if it's expired and the tracking has been cancelled, or if it's even in transit at customs, released from customs, in carrier. I mean, sky's the limit to get super granular and super personalized with your clients and customers. So this is literally gonna boost your credibility and customer satisfaction, and you're gonna just be printing money down the road just by implementing these smart email notifications. So I'm gonna go with, let's say, at customs, and if I scroll down, we have a bunch of pre-built templates, like for the new order, plus 1 day delay with promo code, shipping updates out for delivery. But technically you just need to preview one of these templates, and if you're okay with that, you can just pick it up. And from here, what you see is what you get. Editor is pretty much straightforward. You can just start typing the content for, I don't know, in this case, we selected in transit at customs. So we might say, so you get the idea. And once you're ready with that, you can pretty much save the content. And if you want to see the email itself, you can just go to send test email, send it to your personal inbox, and just have a look at how the email is gonna look like when your client is gonna receive it. I'm gonna just click send test email, And technically this is how the email is going to look like once your client is going to receive it. It's pretty much simple, minimalistic, and it's going straight to the point for that specific event. Plus you're going to have the opportunity to show more complementary products within the copy of the email, and you're going to just be making more money to your bottom line. Now let's take like a couple of minutes to speak about our integration with Klaviyo currently. It's pretty much super easy to be set up, and once it's done, all you need to do is like send test email events. And if I go back to Klaviyo and if I refresh the activity feed, you're gonna see that these events have just came in, and I can continue on setting up the flows within the Klaviyo system. So without going super in depth, I need to go to flows, and I'm gonna click create flow from scratch, and I'm gonna just type in, click create. From here it's super easy, go to metric, type in rush, and these are gonna be all the triggers for these events that we want to work with. I'm gonna pick up rush, and I'm gonna go with new status. From here, click on filter triggers, add a filter trigger, and from the drop down, so from here just pick up the right event that you want to work with. I'm gonna go with status, which is shipment underscore status, and I'm gonna be presented with a drop down of options that I can go with, or I can even go a little bit more deeper as I shown to you guys in a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna go with sub status, and I'm gonna just pick it up, and from here you can see that Klaviyo is gonna present me with all the events that were currently captured between this account and the store that is sending the info to Klaviyo, and I can go with simply add the mailbox. I can click save, and I'm ready to go and create, the email content for that specific trigger and event that we just set it up in Klaviyo. Setting up the content for the emails in Klaviyo is pretty much straightforward. What we recommend is creating one template and just cloning the template over and over again for these different events that you're going to be using as part of the Klaviyo Rush integration. Now I've just picked one template. In this case, I'm going to speak about the dynamic variables that we're sending to Klaviyo that are super easy to be picked up and used according to your content. So just by going into preview, you're going to see a user profile and all the corresponding information that is specifically triggered and captured for that specific user. If you want to use, let's say, less checkpoint city dynamic variable, all you need to do is just click here, copy and paste it, go back somewhere in the content and just paste it in. So what we've done right now, if I click save and if I click preview, I'm gonna preview now, and you'll notice that all the dynamic variables have been replaced within the copy of the email. Now let's speak a super specific case study, and I've created two different Trackio package buttons with, let's say, different ways of setting them up. But if I click on the first one, I'm going to be brought up directly to the tracking page immediately with dynamically populated map for a specific tracking number, for a specific product, for a specific user. But it's going to pick the first one by default. And what I mean is that if you guys have multiple shipping tracking numbers within one order and you separated the fulfillment within Shopify, we have the option to send your customer to the tracking page, but before they're gonna be brought up with the info, they will be asked to pick up the right tracking number to look up the status at the moment. So technically, this is one order that is having 3 different shipping tracking numbers for one customer, and they can just look them up easy as that. No other software currently is providing that option, and I'm happy to brag about that we are the first one to introduce it to the market. And as I said, they can go back to the drop down toggle and look up the first tracking, they can go back and look up the second one, and sky's the limit to provide your customers with the best experience on the planet when it comes down to shipping notifications. I hope you're liking what you're seeing so far, guys. Let's do a quick recap about the features coming with Rush. Once again, custom branded tracking page that is gonna definitely boost your returning visitors traffic, and equally is gonna make you more money to your bottom line. Smart triggered email and SMS notifications coming up quite soon. Push notifications as part of our integration with PushOwl. Upsells and cross-sells to boost your AOV and lifetime customer value. You can blacklist hide locations like China, Hong Kong, you name it. Super handy feature for the dropshippers. Along if you're shipping items internationally, the last mile carrier updates and notifications are super crucial just because of the fact that if the original carrier is gonna forward the shipment to the local carrier, meaning whether it's gonna be USPS or Royal Mail or maybe Australian Post or French Post, German Post, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna continue on listening to the local carrier updates up until the shipments are gonna get delivered. And on top of that, if a customer needs to contact the carrier, they're gonna be contacting the local carrier, not the original carrier that shipped out the shipments. And last but not least, again, analytics, dashboard, exports, smart delivery estimates, a beautiful reporting tab that is going to provide you with a return on your investment when it comes down to your current monthly expense with Rush and how much Rush is bringing back to your bottom line. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video to the very end, guys. We are currently running a special limited promotion with Phil for all the merchants who are currently using Honest FulPhilment. This is a limited time opportunity to jump on board with Rush and to experience the software firsthand, live in action for your brands and stores, and to get the maximum out of it. So be on the lookout for an email or for further details that Phil is gonna provide to you. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact our support desk. We would love to help you out as much as possible with setting, the software up and getting you up to speed ASAP.